Hello everybody, it's Melanie from Mel's Inky Fingers, and I'm here to share this beautiful and simple card that will be included as your completed project in the October 2025 Creatively Inked Kit. And this kit, we are going to be using the Traditional Labels bundle. This bundle is phenomenal. It is great for not only the holidays, but really all year long. The die cuts are incredible. You have all these details around the edges of the dies, really great shapes and sizes. There's 3 rectangles and 3 ovals, and then this really awesome banner. And then you have kind of like a sentiment builder stamp set where you can make holiday greetings, but you can mix and match all these words so that you can even send happy wishes for birthday, birthday cheer. You can pull in a birthday stamp and use some of these to continue to create really nice sentiments for your projects. I love this just for you. That's a great one for all year as well. Sending love and joy is another great one. So I hope you give this bundle a try. Now this bundle is part of the Traditions of Christmas suite. This is out of our September to December mini catalog. It's really gorgeous. And if you are a Creatively Inked subscriber, you're going to get to work with this incredible paper. It is just stunning and the projects are amazing. So we are going to create this project using the Traditional Wreath 3D Embossing Folder out of this suite and combine it with the Traditional Labels stamp and die set. So let's get started. So you need very few supplies to create this project. So let me share with you. I stuck with white with a pop of traditional Christmas color, but I'm going to show you a couple of alternatives at the end to show you what it looks like if you mix up your color. So for this project, you're going to want a half sheet of thick basic white. This is cut 4 1/4 by 11. It's scored at 5 1/2. So this is a standard A2 card base. Then you will want a piece that is 4 inches by 1 inch, and this will be embossed with the, sorry, I need to adjust my light here. It seems really dark to me. Sorry about that. You will emboss this 4 inch by 1 inch piece with the Traditional Wreath Embossing Folder, as well as a piece that is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And that is going to be on the front of our card like this with our sentiment. So only basic white cardstock for this particular version. So we've embossed 2 pieces with this Traditional Wreath Embossing Folder. You can see it's got really beautiful detailing. You can do lots of different things with this. You don't just have to leave it plain. Then we're going to bring in 1 ink color, and I have chosen to bring in Old Olive to make it just a beautiful green for the holidays. And then I'm going to be using some of this shiny Real Red ribbon. It has a little glittery look on one side. It's a little bit wider. I've chosen to cut it in half lengthwise, which is a really nice tip for using ribbon. If you have a ribbon that you would like to use, but it's a little too wide, don't worry about cutting it. It works well and gives you more versatility. So I just took a length of ribbon, cut it off the spool, and then I used a nice sharp paper scissor and cut right up the middle lengthwise to create a narrower version for my project. Then for this project, I used these amazing glitter sequins. These are the traditional glitter sequins. I'm actually out. I've been using so many and they're on back order. They're due to come back in stock this week. So for today, I'm going to use these gorgeous, delightful decorative dots, and I'm going to pull in the red from these. And these have some shimmer in them. They're also really, really pretty, and they match the ribbon. Awesome. So let's get started. So this is really easy. First thing I'm going to do is pull in some Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm going to adhere this embossed layer to my card front. Now, if you don't have this wreath embossing folder, you could pull in any holiday themed embossing folder that you have to create this beautiful focal point. And I also have a video on YouTube that shares using embossing embossed layers, I should say, as the focal point of a card. And this card would kind of fall into that category. So this is my card front. So now I'm going to take my banner and I'm going to do some stamping. So I've chosen the Sending Love and Joy and then Season's Greetings for my sentiments for this project. One will go on the front, one will go on the inside. So on this one, I did Sending Love and Joy with Merry Christmas on the inside. So I think I'm going to show you a version that has Season's Greetings on the outside, and then I will put Sending Love and Joy on the inside. So I have mounted my stamp. Now these are photopolymer stamps, so they're nice and clear. You can see exactly where you're placing your image, which is great when you have an angled and shaped die that you're adding them to. You could also choose to stamp this and then line up your die on the stamped image if you prefer to do it that way. And then while I have this out, I'm going to grab my other stamp. Whoop, I don't want to get ink on that. I will grab my Sending Love and Joy, and I'm going to stamp that on the inside. So now we have our stamping completed. So let's put our ink pad away. Now, when I shared that this was a quick card, I wasn't kidding. So now we have our stamping done. So let's pull in our piece of ribbon that I have cut in half lengthwise. Now there is a tiny bit of fraying here. I don't mind the fraying. If you don't like your ribbon to fray, there is a sewing notion called Fray Check. It's made by Dritz. I know there's some other similar brands that make a product that will keep your ribbon from fraying. You can just simply add some of that to the edge, and then your ribbon won't get the fuzzies on it. So I'm going to make these loops a little bit bigger because I'm going to set this behind my banner. So some of this will be hidden. And I want my loops to kind of pop out from behind my banner like this, all right? So you want to make sure that you make your loops just a little bigger than you might otherwise. And then I'm going to just give myself some nice angled ends here on my ribbon. So then I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. I'm going to put a little bit on the back here where I want my bow to sit, so I can get this lined up exactly how I want it. And then I can put this whole piece on my card front using Stampin' Dimensionals. So let's stick that like this, and then you can reposition how you want it like that. There we go. That's great. So now let's add some dimensionals. If I can find them. What did I do with them? I just had them here. They fell on the floor. No wonder why. Okay. So I'm going to put a couple here, and then I'm going to put one on this side of the bow. So I'm going to use dimensionals so that that little knot right there, it does not create a bump on my card front when I adhere this. So I'll pull these backings off. And then we can position this on our card front, and I'm going to put it in this open space, kind of centered on my card. And you can adjust your bow if you need to. So really simple and easy. And then I'm going to pull in my dots here. And again, I'm going to use the red ones. I have some little strips here because I've been including these in some kits already. So you have 3 different sizes and 3 different colors. So I think maybe I'll include 3 on here. You could also use the green if you wanted. That would be really pretty. So there's our card front. So simple. And now let's take this embossed piece and put it inside our project. So I'm going to put it along the bottom like this. If you wanted to add a little bit of red to the inside of this, you certainly could. You could splatter with a Stampin' Blends marker. You could splatter with a Stampin' Write marker. You could do a little ink blending with a blending brush behind your words. You could do really anything to bring a little bit of color to the inside. And there is our project. So fast, so simple. If I can find the original one. There we go. So now you can see it with two different sentiments on the front. You can see which one you like better. You can see the difference in the beautiful embellishments. Now these embellishments, these are the traditional glitter sequins. They're so flat that you could even put some on the inside if you wanted as well. So now let me share with you a couple of alternatives. So I made this project with some other products. So here is the same card, except I changed the card base to a colored cardstock. So this one is made with a Mossy Meadow card base. And then I pulled in this beautiful Mossy Meadow and gold ribbon. This is an online only product as a coordinating product to go with the colored card base. I stayed with the glitter sequins, and then I used soft sea foam for my sentiment on the red banner. And then this one, I stayed with mostly red. So I used a real red card base, an embossed layer. I changed up which label I used, and then switched out the ribbon to this beautiful shaded spruce and soft seafoam satin ribbon. This is so soft and smooth, but I too cut this in half lengthwise so that it sat really nicely underneath my label. And then I pulled in the green embellishments from the Delightful Decorative Dots. So you can see a few versions of this. They're all just beautiful. I hope you give this card a try, and if you're a Creatively Inked subscriber, you will receive this completed card in your kit already done for you, and it will be included in your tutorial so that you can make more if you choose. And if you're not a Creatively Inked subscriber, I sure hope you subscribe. This is the October 2025 sneak peek. The projects are absolutely gorgeous, and I know you will enjoy creating them with your kit. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon.